Good morning from Sweden. I hope you are well today. So this is today's hexagram reading, or I Ching reading. So we're going to find out which hexagram is the strongest energy for us now, what's sort of hidden underneath that is also affecting us, and then also which way we are heading and what is strongest at the moment and what is our guidance forward today to be able to make it as smooth a ride as possible. So if you are benefiting from this reading, please like and subscribe. I would love for you to see you come back as well. Okay, so let's start by grounding ourselves and bringing ourselves into the present moment here and leaving all old energies behind. So root down into Mother Earth, whether you're standing up, maybe you're walking on your way to work, or sitting down, just root your feet connected to the floor beneath, and the buttocks as well, firmly connected to the seat underneath. And then breathe in through your nose and out through your nose into the stomach. Feeling the stomach expanding all the way around to the sides and to the back, and then contracting as you breathe out, expanding as you breathe in. And now we're going to take 3 cleansing breaths. So empty the lungs out completely. And then breathe in through the nose, all the way into the stomach, filling the lungs from below all the way up. Fresh chi, fresh air, and then blow out through, breathe out through a pinhole through your lips. Releasing all stagnant air, stagnant energy, and then breathe in through the nose. Filling your lungs with fresh fresh air, and then breathe out through a pinhole through your lips. Breathing out stress and thoughts that do not belong to this moment, they belong in the past. So breathe in this present moment into the lungs. Filling them with here and now, feeling how it's pulsating all the way up to your fingers and toes, up to your head, and then breathe out through the pinhole through your lips. Releasing, releasing, releasing. And now continue breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, so let's start. We are starting with the lower diagram, lower gua, inner gua, and then moving to the upper gua, creating this first energy, hexagram. So how does this hexagram want to move me today? How are the energies around us? And how can we best navigate them today? Please give us the map for today. Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So let's have a look where we're at. So we are starting off with earth. Kian. Kian is 3, that's the second. If we have Kian, that's the second hexagram. All yin lines, the second hexagram in the I Ching. So, and that's being very receptive, receiving. So very receiving energy, it's a withdrawal energy, meditation energy, really. It's a winter energy, and we're in deepest winter here now. So let's find what's going on in the outer gua. And I apologise if you hear my stomach. I've not had breakfast yet, but a big cup of coffee. So talking. I hope you're not hearing it. So, what's going on in the upper gua? How does this hexagram want to move me today? What are the energies around us? And how do we best navigate them? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. And that's mountain. Again, a mountain looks like this. So we've got a lot of yin lines, so moving up, and there's only one yang line. So, and that's the opposite of a gua we had the other day when it was all yang and just one yin at the top. Or it was only a few days ago. So yang is very active. Let's see, that's the one with the spot. We take 2 coins. Yang is a very active, is a very creative energy. Well, yin is more destructive. And also resting withdrawals. So a lot of yin means that we still need a lot of rest, okay? We need to withdraw, really need to withdraw. So let's find which is the changing line and where in this hexagram exactly are we and what is it changing into. So first 6, second 6, that's the one. So it's this one. And then, so that makes this one, as I'm going to write first, at the top we've got gen, kian, and here continues being gen. However, so it looks like that, but now we've got water gun, kan here. Kan, because this one is changed into yang. And then let's see what the approach gua is telling us. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So 3 yin. And then we got 1, 2, 3, and then 3 yin. And this is the one that I was speaking about. This is the receptive. One is called, just lost the name now. We'll see. So it's kian. No, sorry. What am I talking about? That's heaven. I think my mind is, that's not kian at all, that's kun. Kun, earth, kun. Everything else I said was correct, although I wrote the wrong name. And that's kan, so gen kun, kun kun, gen kun. Gen kan, water. So a lot of earth energy here, and it's about earth is the one, the source of nourishment, and we are tired now. It's just endless. It feels like the what's going on within our lives, and also what's going on in outer world as well. It continues. Is the narcissist energy. It's being very strong at the moment, and it's actually eating away at the strength of everyone, okay? So it's just nibbling away, just sucking the energy out of everyone. So we must remain strong and steadfast. So despite this, and we mustn't fall into anger and being, affected by this, falling into anger in that sense. So it's difficult not to be affected by it, but we need to cultivate ourselves to remain peaceful and calm and continue to act with love and calmness and peace, okay? Do not lash out despite the fact you might be almost under attack. Currently, it might feel like that, or you might even be under attack. But those are the energies. So let's have a look at. So we've got gen, and then kun. 23. That's the main energy of today. And then we got gen and kan. And that's number 4. And I think that is childhood maybe. And then what is our approach is kun, which is number 2. Kun. Let's have a look. Kun, which is number 2. What am I doing? My mind is a bit scattered today, I think. So 4, which explains this great need of nourishing peace and quiet, starting to look after ourselves. So here we go. 23, let's have a look. So we're moving into, turning back, falling away. So yeah, it says falling away. So this is eating away. All the yang, all the energy is falling away at the moment. Falling away. Ooh, falling away. Number 4. Which is, we can have a look at, we're going to come up to responding, is number 2, and then number 4 is childhood. 4. Responding. So let's go straight into number 23. But I'm just going to have falling away. So this is what we've been going through for so long, right? The process is going, and it feels like it's escalating. It's pushing us to not stay in a position that we don't want to be, okay? And that is not good for us. That is something that belongs to the past. And when we are not moving fast enough, according to the universe, it keeps on pushing us, right? Although we should not move without actually having a thought, okay? This is the guidance we're getting at the moment. You are in the wrong spot. What you're doing and what's going on in your life, it's not resonating with you and your life purpose, right? So which means that you have to shift out of this. And this is for all of us. This includes me, okay? So we have to shift out of this. And this is the message that keep on coming back. It's abolishing the old. Has been a big one a few weeks back. But falling away is the same sort of energy as well. It's like the old being overtaken, okay? We're removing that. And then we got childhood, which is the initiating power as well. As we've got initiated, and then with childhood is like the beginning of a new cycle. So we're really like we're going in between this, leaving the old, or we're actually in the new cycle already, but we've got some residual energy left from the old, which means we might still be in a situation that is part of the old life, okay? So when it comes to me, for example, I'm in a work position which belongs to my old life, but I need to stay there because of income, really, to earn some money, but it's not the right spot for me. So I'm getting a lot of pressure from there, I'll say. It's telling me not to stay there. However, I must, right? But that's the part that is old. And also I'm packing up my apartment. I'm moving out of this apartment in less than a month and a half, just over a month, then to become more of a digital nomad for a time being, and I'm moving further south. So it's like a lot of things I'm shifting out of to move into new things, but I got bits of the old left here, and this is what this is speaking about. But also we've got childhood here, right? And we've had initiating before, and we've had needing, and we've got a lot of energies that is like in the beginning of a cycle. And childhood is when we are right at the beginning of something, and we're quite vulnerable right now. Like a little child is very vulnerable. It needs his parents, it needs the adults around to bring them food and love and help teach them and guide them for the future and all this. So at the moment, the childhood, we need a lot of guidance and we need to look after ourselves. Also this responding energy, that's what's sort of under the surface, right? It's not entirely here. It's not here. It's also called the hidden gua or the approach gua. So it's not here yet, but that's where we are in our way in. And this is all yin lines. And here we've got lots of yin light. And that's like a really withdrawal energy, right? And this is speaking about we really need to look after ourselves right now because we're being pounded with all the things. So we're really in this great change in our life. We really need to make sure we withdraw into meditation. We need to eat good food. We need to make sure that we drink good water. Don't drink alcohol. Stay away from social media. All these kind of things that are bad influences, actually doing the opposite of strengthening us, which is taking more energy from us. And we don't have an awful lot of energy at the moment. We have very little energy. There's a lot of, like, we're in the winter. In the winter, when the winter is approaching, all the trees are losing their leaves, at least here in the northern hemisphere. That's the first thing that happens. They get this big, beautiful colors first, and then all the leaves falls and everything just draws into standstill, and then we get the snow falling, and there's not an awful lot of energy. Everything is very slow and people are tired. There's not an awful lot of sun in the daytime, so we don't get the energy from the sun, which is like very, very, very summery energy. So, and that's where we are. We don't have an awful lot of energy. Whether you live in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere, it's been draining you. This journey you've been on for quite a while now to shift out of what's old into the new, and that's a scary situation to be in, because we might have to leave behind something that's been our support in order to step into the new, where we might not have an awful lot of support, where we don't know much about it. So we're like little children going into this new, okay? So, and also fear drains us. Fear is also it's related to the water element in the 5-element theory, and the energies or the feelings associated with that. The more sort of on one spectrum end of it is fear, right? So when we're fearful, we're draining the water element, which is associated with the kidneys as well. But on the other hand, if we can get this courage and know that we can do this despite the fact that we're only in the childhood, and it's time to really start moving out of what's old, because it's just draining us. And then if we're fearful on top of that, then we're further draining this water element. And we've got Kan here, and Kan has been coming up a lot lately. Okay, water element. We had a lot of water element in the form of the lake and in the water. So we got the lake coming up a lot, and then water as well lately. So we are draining right now the water element with fear for the future. And then also we are in the winter time. So we're just going to have a look at this falling away. Falling away. It's earth. Yeah, I thought so, because we've got Kun there. So it's the earth element, and we're also moving into earth. So it's a lot of earth element here, which is the first time since I started this reading, we're having an earth element. So earth. And then childhood has got Gen, which is like very, very, it's a mountain over water. So let's look at the hexagram first. We've got mountain over earth. So this is a big mountain standing on top of the earth. That's usually where they stand. They are coming out of earth. And it's a very solid, non-moving energy. And also earth is very nourishing. Like we get all the fruit and the vegetable and everything from earth, right? But mountain is a very non-moving. But in the next one, we've got Kan, which is a flowing energy and is a nourishing energy as well as the earth element, but we've got water flowing underneath the mountain here, and then we moved into full earth here. Okay, let's see. Splitting apart, peeling off, falling away. It means decaying, corroding, or falling away. Apply to a mountain, it signifies a landslide. In human society, it symbolizes process of declining or the falling away of social systems and moral standards. And this is exactly what's going on in the world right now. And I must say, in my work life as well, it's rather crazy, I must say. It's like people are changing and they don't see the erosion. And this is where I'm talking about this narcissist energy that is eroding everything around you. Like this narcissist energy, although you can see on the surface very kind or very, very inspirational, like with Donald Trump, for example, but it's actually, all it does is erodes away. It does. The narcissistic energy is not in any way giving or nourishing or inspiring. It just erodes. Okay, so on the left here, if you look at the image here, that's an image of a knife. So Lu, so it was King Wen's sword. Lu also means a piece of carved wood. These two images represent an act of carving and engraving. During carving and engraving, pieces of wood and stone fall away. So we need to remove this that we still have in our life that was part of the old life, because it's sucking the life out of us, to be brutally honest. It's just draining us. And then there's very little energy left for us to do what we need to do in order to move out of childhood into adulthood in our new cycle, okay? Because a child will not grow without food, water, and love, and great encouragement and guidance, okay? It will just remain, it will not grow, okay? So we need to have the energy to do this, which means we have to carve away what does not serve us in the life, whatever is draining us in our life right now. Okay. So the structure of the Gua is mountain above, earth below. It symbolizes the falling away landslide of a mountain. The nature of a mountain is to stand high above the earth. Here it lies on the ground, having fallen. There is only one solid line at the top of this Gua. The remaining 5 lines are all yielding. The firm rest on the soft. Obviously, the foundation is not solid. So we're not in a solid foundation. It's all shaking, is all eroding away, okay? Let's have a look. Falling away, unfavorable to have somewhere to go. That means that at the moment, we need to remain still, okay? No rushing around, okay? Falling away is decaying. The yielding want to change the firm. Unfavorable to have somewhere to go. Little fellows are growing and extending. Act in accordance with the situation and keep still. Yeah, like I said, this unfavorable to have somewhere to go. Right now, we just need to remain watchful. Do not make any great actions, okay? Just remain, make sure that you protect yourself and others around you who are being affected by this energy. But first, you need to protect yourself. And then you need to protect others also being in a way that doesn't drain you further, okay? Contemplating the image, the superior person comprehends the alternative of increase and decrease, also the alteration of fullness and emptiness. It is the Tao of heaven. So it's talking about the change that happens like all the time. Everything is change. Summer becomes autumn, becomes winter, becomes spring, becomes summer, becomes autumn, and this is an endless cycle. More day becomes midday to evening to night to morning, and that keeps on changing as well. Changing. We never end up in a place where we have day for days and days and days. It's like a constant cycle. A child is being born or being conceived is like just a little seed, the egg, and then it's growing inside the mother's stomach. And then it's being born and then growing from this little seedling or this little baby or puppy or whichever animal it is, right? And they're growing into an adult to stronger person, okay? But during this period, like I said, we need to nourish. It needs support, because a little child, if it's being left alone, is not going to survive for very long, okay? So it needs strong support. But right now, there is no time to move. Right now, we just sit back, okay? No, it's sit. What I mean by that is not sitting back and just not doing nothing. Remain alert, but you need to continue watching, okay? But we're not making any great big strides at the moment. Mountain erodes close to the earth, an image of decaying and falling away. In correspondence with this, that which is above becomes benevolent to those below, as if building houses on solid foundations. Okay, see, this is it. Look after yourself. Make sure that you cultivate your own character, so you can remain peaceful and calm and loving in stressful situations. Okay, I know this is very, very, very difficult. It's so easy to rise to anger and to hatred and just wanted to shout at people who don't understand, who don't see the erosion around us. Like Trump supporters, for example, we are all like, how can they not see that he's just destroying, that he's just speaking lies? And it's the same thing with Putin, and his supporters and all these, very toxic leaders who are just creating erosion. But the followers don't see this, and we just want to scream at them. And this is also on a smaller level, like somebody who's in a relationship with a very narcissistic person. Right, that person is trapped. They cannot see, although there might be great abuse, right? They don't want to see it's continuously making up excuses for this person why it's treating them so badly, poorly, and it's because we don't see it. They don't see, or when we're in this situation, when we are the victim of this narcissist energy, or not necessarily the victim. The victims can also see very clearly what's going on, but finding it very difficult to deal with it. But when we are under the control, it's a better word, control of this narcissist energy, we don't see, right, the erosion. And the ones who are standing outside, who are actually becoming victims as well to this. But they can't do anything. It's difficult to do something to change it. But it's very important for us to stand outside and see this going on, who are actually also part of it, like in the middle of it. We might be it's like being in the middle of a tornado. No, sorry, not in the middle. It's like being slung around in the tornado. We need to be the calm center in the middle of the tornado, because the narcissist energy is the tornado itself. It just slings, it just destroys, it just everything, right? But we need to become the center of this tornado, to be this peaceful, calm energy, no matter what is going on around out there, okay? So we need to cultivate ourselves. And then first step is to love ourselves, nourish ourselves, okay? And then we can do that which is above becomes benevolent to those below. And that's what this is speaking about, okay? Being a great leader. But you need to have, so we remain benevolent, we remain kind-hearted. We do not shout and scream or being angry at these people who do not see, okay? Because they're victims as well, although they can't see it. And they become part of the problem, right? So let's have a look at the changing line, which is the second 6. Falling away at the frame of the bed, erosion, being steadfast, misfortune. Falling away at the frame of the bed, lack of associates. So at the moment, you are alone. It feels like that anyway. You're in the middle dealing with this erosion energy, this narcissist energy. It's there and it's just eroding everything around you, and it's affecting everyone, and the only one who sees it is you. Other people might see it and they're being affected by it, but they don't understand what it is. But at the moment you're standing alone. So it's really, 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 really good important that you nourish yourself and cultivate yourself, okay? And think about every step forward you take. And at the moment, it's best to just remain still. Okay? Do not make any great exclamations. That's not the time for this. The second line suggests that the evil forces are growing gradually and steadily. If not stopped immediately, they become stronger. In the end, they will cause one to fall away. In the meantime, the decay has reached the frame of the bed. The second line is a yin element at the yang place in the middle of the lower gua. The place is central and correct. Unfortunately, it does not respond to the yin element at the fifth place. One at this place lacks wise teachers and helpful friends. Yeah. So you are alone, but you're not alone, okay? But at this moment, don't make any movement because you have very few people to back you up, right? So this is not the time. Protect yourself. Because if you don't protect yourself, there is no way you can protect anyone else, okay? So think of every step forward. So let's have a look at childhood quickly here as well. And then quickly on Kun, which is... So we've got mountain over a stream. So this is interesting, actually. So there's a mountain, and here we have, I think there's bunches of grass. And here's a stream. Let's have a look at it. Youthful folly, immaturity. Okay. Let's have a look. Actually, I'd love to see what this image is speaking about. Oh, this is beautiful. The ancient children believe that the nature of a child is like uncarved jade. Its brilliance is hidden. Yeah, so there's brilliance, right? And every soul has brilliance, like even like really, it seems the people who seem really evil are doing bad things. Like the true essence is brilliance, like the soul's essence. There's nothing difference between you and a really, like this essence of you. Like for the essence of like somebody like Putin, for example. But it's the exterior, the what's being expressed. And that is the source of evil, okay? But the pure, just in the middle, the actual truthful essence of us is purity, okay? Although there are so many layers of obscurations on top of this that is creating this really narcissistic, like evil energy, okay? But not the essence. The essence is always pure and there's always brilliance, like in the center. And with the child, you're not, I don't know, like maybe just the brilliance is hidden. So there's like yet to grow up and then being able to express fully, share with the world our gifts, right? Share with the universe our gifts. And it's very important that a child gets the right guidance, gets lots of love and energy and good food. And so it can grow up and learn how to express themselves in a loving way, in a creative way, to share goodness with the world. An oppressed child turn into this, not always, there's wonderful people who have been oppressed and gone through terrible childhood and turn into these beautiful people who are sharing this beautiful energies and creativity with the world. But more often than not, a lot of people who are being oppressed and abused in childhood, not looked after, not loved, they grow up to be very destructive, okay? So that's Meng symbolizes the ignorant, the innocence of a child because wisdom is not yet uncovered. And this is what we're going through at the moment. So people who are affected and believing in like a person with very strong narcissist energies, they're very innocent and very ignorant because they cannot, in this sense, right? They cannot see what's going on clearly. Like their eyes have covered with this veil. And it's not actually the worst. I'm not sure if evil is the worst power on the planet. Ignorance is. and not being able to see is because that actually, so if you've got one bad person, then if everybody around sees this person is not behaving in a good way, then they will stop it immediately. But if this person who's got very toxic energies is in the middle and people around him don't see it, it will spread, right? So, and then they take after and believe that this is the way to behave and continue. And then the anger rises and they start doing things. And then this spreads, right? So ignorance is very, very difficult, very, very dangerous, because it allows the toxicity to spread. Okay, so we need to really look at situations clearly. Is this correct? Is this real? What I see, is this real? Is this loving? Does the surface correspond with the inner? Right? The surface, is it, do the actions come from love and compassion and wanting to care for, or is it just hate and anger, right? So remove all the veils to be able to see clearly, and then for us to grow up and actually see from this ignorance, and then see clearly what's going on in the world. Otherwise we cannot stop it. And at the moment it's rotting. Everything is rotting, and it's because of ignorance. Nothing else, okay? One evil or toxic energy is just one little toxic energy. If you cut it there, see it immediately and say, no, more, poof. If everybody does that, see clearly, then there is no problem. But because most people don't see it, then there becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger problem. Okay, let's read the commentary on the decision. Unenlightened, ignorant. At the foot of a mountain lies difficulty. Difficulty makes him stand still. It is ignorant behavior. The ignorant can be prosperous and smooth if he acts in accordance with the proper time and follows the principle of the central way. Okay, the central way is no hate, and it's like no hate and anger, but also not being completely ignorant and just being, some people are so nice that they become dumb, right? They're being walked all over them. Right? And that's a very ignorant behavior. The central way is to remain truthful to who we are. And we're not using violence, but we're not being just walked all over. Right? This is the central way, the middle way. Moving forward with strength, right? And remaining us, but do not get into fights and anger, shouting and just leading with a strong presence. That's it. Kind, but strong, okay? Strong boundaries. It is not I who seeks the ignorant seeks me. His will responds to mine. On the first divination I give light. He was firm and in central position. Repeating again is contemptuous. Being contemptuous, no more instruction. Showing contempt causes ignorance. Yeah, so don't show contempt. It's like cultivate yourself. Remain peaceful and with a kind, loving heart at the moment. But you're going to have to really make sure you don't get into anger and start sort of lashing out at people. Stay in the middle way, okay? And here, actually, next line, uncovering the covered is to nourish the correct nature. It is a holy task. And this is what I was speaking about, removing the veils, right? To see exactly what's going on. Like, see that this toxic energy is not the way forward. It just creates more toxicity. It creates more erosion. It spreads like a toxic energy across the world, and it's just not good, okay? But this is happening because we are ignorant. We don't see the toxicity. So we think this is the good way, and we're being pulled into this. So we need to remove all these veils and actually see exactly what's going on so we can stop this. We can take the knife and we can cut away the gangrene, the rotting, in order to stop the rot, okay? And the underlying energy here is responding. We need to this is not a time to, it's not a very creative time as such, right? We're not making any moves, we're more responding to situations. And responding is the important word here, that we're responding. So we're not reacting, going, lashing out. We are responding, we're watching, and we're seeing what's going on. And then from there, we're making a wise decision. Listen to your stomach and listen to your heart. And then from there, make a logical, use your logical brain from the information from your stomach and your heart, and then plan your next step. Okay, to protect yourself and nourish yourself so you can protect and nourish others. That's the reading for today. I hope it has been of benefit to you. Anyway, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Okay, bye-bye.